This video is sponsored by NHN.
Alright, the new price. Okay, I understand. Okay, wait a minute. Come on, the new price?
A few moments later.
What?
We have a new price.
What if your computer could wake up every 2 minutes to check the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, or any crypto, then save the data, analyze it, and finally show the result on a cyberpunk dashboard, while you do absolutely nothing? In this project, we are going to connect N8N match as a crypto API, then create a CSV storage and Flask backend into one automated crypto intelligence system. N8N will collect the market data automatically as the backend, and the Python server will show the result at the end of this project as the front-end server. So as always, let's do this. By this project, we will have a system that automatically collects crypto prices, stores historical data, processes it, and finally displays the result at the end of this project on a real-time dashboard. This is great. Alright, so let's go for building a real-time crypto price dashboard, with N8N, and also at the front end we go for Python programming language. So let's build it step by step in N8N first for our backend, and when the created file just ready, we go for Python and moved on front end part. So first thing first, in step 1 I just want to use scheduled trigger. It's just the first step in the scheduled trigger part. Because of that, I just configure N8N to execute this workflow automatically every 5 minutes. It depends on you. You can use it on 1 minute, 2 minutes, hour, days, monthly, week, or any types of that. For example, seconds. It depends on you. This means I don't need to manually run the workflow every time, and every 5 minutes N8N starts the process and the request the latest cryptocurrency data. So the workflow begins with a scheduled trigger, and this gives us just automated data collection pipeline. Alright, now we need a real market data. Because of that, we use one API for any crypto on our project, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or anything, to fetch the latest prices of anything now. To fetch the latest prices. For next step, in step 2, I want to use HTTP request. The second step is just about this node. And here N8N sends an HTTP request to a cryptocurrency price API. Because of that, I just want to use this API address. I think this is very useful and very necessary, but it depends on you too. You can use in any URL or any API, but I think this is very useful and very heavy. Also, the API returns the current market information for cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum or any cryptocurrency. From the response, I extract the information that I need, and especially the current price. This is the most important part of this data file. So now the workflow has access to the latest crypto market data for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the process is until now is schedule a trigger in 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes HTTP request get current price. Actually, we don't want to run this manually operation every time. So we schedule the workflow to run this script every single time. So for that, I just move on next step. In step 3, I want to add some conditions for if node. The third step is just about where we introduce our logic. I don't want to just want to collect the price. I just want to know whether the current price has crossed a specification threshold. For example, I can just define a target price for Bitcoin or Ethereum or another target for Dogecoin, anything. Anything compares the current price with these predefined values. But if the condition is true, the workflow follows until the end of this patch that we want to make. But if the condition is false, I just want to follow the another patch, and I want to access it to HTTP request again if the answer is false, because I want to get these information every 5 minutes until the price reaches the goal. So because of that, the logic becomes current price comes to if conditions, and if it's true, the conditions move straight, and if it's false, we repeat the operation on if and HTTP request. So this allows the workflow to automatically detect whether the cryptocurrency has reached the level I'm interested in to sell or buy my crypto. And in step 4, I want to add the convert to file node. After processing the data, the next step is convert the file. Because I want to save the file at least on my desktop, and in any format. It doesn't matter. It depends on you. You can add it on CSV file, text file, Excel, or anything. But at this point, I convert the structured data from the workflow into a CSV file, because CSV is useful here because I want to add it on my Python, and it's very simple, lightweight, human reliable, and very easy to process with Python. This is very important because this N8N is our backend file, and if I want to add a UI on Python and use these files, CSV is very good. So the workflow now converts the cryptocurrency data into a format that can be stored locally. So we have data convert to file CSV node, and that's it. In step 5 and in final step on N8N parameters, I want to add read and write file node, because the final part of the N8N workflow is read or write files from disk, instead of keeping the data only inside N8N, because we want to use it in our system, in our workflow in both sides, and I just write the generated CSV file directly to a folder on my Windows machine. And this is just very potential for our Python dashboard, for our Python real-time dashboard. In this project, the data is stored inside, root directory, maybe drive C, it depends on you. But because I just add the permissions on this root only to N8N, I just create this address on my Windows. But it depends on you. You can use it on your another's, but it depends on you. You can use it on another root directory, for example, drive DT or anything. And C, on drive C, I just create this N8N on underline test folder, and the Bitcoin and Ethereum data are stored separately, which makes it easier for the Python application in the future to process them later. So the complete N8N pipeline is now at the first scheduled trigger. Then we have a HTTP request. After that, we have if conditions, and at the second step, we have convert to file, and finally, we add some read and write files from disk. This is the total and entire roadmap of N8N on backend. So now we test it, and as you can see here, both files for Ethereum and Bitcoin very simple and lightweighting, adding successfully. So this is the end of this part of backend. So now at this point N8N has completed its job. So it automatically collects the cryptocurrencies data, process it, and checks the conditions, converts the result into CSV, and saves the files locally. So alright, finally at the end we turn all of these data and operations into a clean crypto dashboard. So next we just move on step 6, but out of N8N we just have Python real-time dashboard here. So now we move to the second part of the project. For this part I'm just using Python programming language and Flask. Flask is very useful for your backend and your connection between your files, backend OS onto your UI and frontend. So the Python applications continuously reads the CSV files generated by N8N and converts the data into a web-based dashboard. So N8N is responsible for collecting the data, and Python is responsible for reading, and visualizing the data. So this creates separations between the data pipeline and also the visualizations layer. But the most important things in my code here is file rotations. My N8N creates all files every 5 minutes or 2 minutes, anything, but the file name is bitcoin.csv and ethereum.csv. But there is one important problem we need to solve. As I told you, N8N generates new CSV files repeatably, and the number of files can continuously increases. So to handle this, I just create file rotation system functions in my Python file. The application checks the folder every 10 seconds, but it depends on you. Because I want to create a real-time dashboard, I just add 10 seconds, but it depends on you. You can use any other number. So if it finds a base file such as bitcoin.csv and or ethereum.csv, it renames it to bitcoin1.csv. So it's add just a number to the next file, and then the next file becomes bitcoin2.csv 3 4 until the end. Also the same for Ethereum CSV files, and so let's just move on. The same process is applied for Ethereum, and this allows the application to maintain and maintain a simple historical file structure without overwriting previous data. It just helps us to solve the overwriting problem. Also the file rotation runs in a separate background, also treated and doesn't block the Flask application. This is very important. Reading the CSV files is the next part, and Python needs to read the generated CSV files. If you need the complete version of this code, you can find it on my GitHub, and my GitHub address is on description. You can check it. So the application searches the directory for Bitcoin and Ethereum files on CSV format. So it reads each file, extracts the values, and converts the price information into a numeric values. And as you can see here, the final result is very useful and visualizable. You have a very real-time and beautiful dashboard here for your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, or any crypto situations on the market. This is very real-time. So this is the result. Now the system can collect all crypto data automatically and show them when we are sitting back and prefer to do something more important or rest. Why not?
Nice.
Alright, thanks guys for watching this video. In next episode we will dive into another cool topic from cryptocurrencies. So make sure to subscribe the channel to stick around, and don't forget our rule, ride the wave of technology. Farewell.